What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Open Door Hypnosis TV. I'm Shara Prophet, your personal vitality coach and certified clinical hypnotherapist. Today I'm going to get personal and tell you guys about my weight release journey. And the reason why I'm calling it weight release instead of weight loss is because in my hypnosis training, I've been taught that the word loss is a signal to the subconscious mind that something can be found again. And it has been my experience that in the past, when I lost my weight, it always found its way right back to me. So today I'm going to tell you what I did to lose 45 pounds in about 4.5, 5 months, and how I've been able to maintain that weight with ease and enthusiasm. Okay? I did use hypnosis because we know that hypnosis is a very powerful tool. It's an incredibly effective tool, especially for things like weight release. But I used hypnosis in conjunction with a weight release program. And even though hypnosis is very effective on its own, it is doubly effective when you use it in conjunction with another modality or program, okay? In the past, when I tried to release weight, I would get it all off because I was on a program. I was doing, extreme diets, cleanses, fasts, working out like crazy. And of course, the weight would fall right off. But as soon as that program or that diet or that workout routine was over with, guess what? I went right back to my old eating habits. I went right back into, not working out or just kind of laying around and saying, oh, I don't feel like doing it today, or it's too hot today. And the weight came right back and did that so many times. Now, I struggled with weight loss for a little over 10 years. I had been very thin my entire childhood, all the way up through right around the time where I left and started college. That's when I noticed when I started to gain a little weight. When I didn't finish college, I didn't graduate from a 4-year university. When I came back home to DC, I was in New York City. When I came back to DC, I noticed that the weight kind of fell off. And I was fine. And then I noticed that when I left DC to move to Los Angeles, the weight came right back. And so that's when that struggle of weight loss started for me, is when I moved to LA. So I was about 24 years old. I'm 38 now. I was 24 years old when I first came to Los Angeles. And that is when I noticed the weight gain kind of, increasing over the years. It would get more and more. And at first it just started out with being a little thick, and I liked it, and then the thickness turned into plumpness, and then the plumpness turned into, okay, I can't fit into my favorite jeans or shorts or dress anymore. And finally, I just had to really pay attention to it. And after I had done a few weight release programs, and it didn't work, or it worked really well, and then, a few months later, the weight came back, or maybe even a year or two later, the weight would just, find its way back to me. So about 2.5 years ago, back in 2015, around that time, I started getting into hypnosis. That's when I found out about, hypnosis and started studying it and going to school for hypnosis. And at the same time that I started my hypnotherapy education, I also started this magnificent weight release program. And I started using the two together. And I used hypnosis to keep me motivated and to keep me confident while doing this program, because the program was very rigorous. It was a very intense program. And it not only encompassed diet and a very clean diet and exercise program, but it also made me look at myself and dig deep. So I was doing this program in conjunction with hypnosis, using the hypnosis for motivation, using hypnosis to help retrain my brain. And I think I used, one of the suggestions that I used for myself was every time I looked at my workout clothes, I wanted to put them on, and the moment I had on my uniform, it meant that it was go time to get ready to go work out. And I also put a suggestion in that the food that comforts me is the food that heals me. So now I eat whatever I want because I only want foods that heal me and foods that are nurturing for me. During that time, I also found that I was allergic to a lot of different kinds of foods. And most of my weight that was on me was actually inflammation. It was actually my body protecting itself against the toxins. And those toxins for me specifically are soy, peanuts, gluten or wheat products, and dairy. So I had this, all my life I suffered with sinuses and sinus infections and bronchitis and respiratory issues. And pretty soon my body started to swell up from, wheat and dairy and peanuts and soy. And after clearing everything out of my diet, I was finally able, and as I started to introduce things back in, I was able to really see what was good for me, what my body was actually happy with and could actually process, and what wasn't working for me anymore. So eliminating the things that, eliminating those foods that were actually toxic to my body has also aided in me maintaining my current weight. And I'd always yo-yoed up and down, up and down, up and down. I would be, at my heaviest, I was like 198 pounds or like 195. And then sometimes I would drop all the way down to 170, and then I would inch my way back up, very gradually. And aside from getting rid of the foods that were toxic for me, that actually caused inflammation and caused, allergic reactions, I also had to get down and dirty with myself and do some deep emotional digging and figure out why the weight was sticking with me in the first place. And there were a few things that were revealed to me during this process. One of those things was I was trying to protect myself because I felt insecure. I didn't feel safe. I was away from home because every time I would go home, I would lose weight. And even now, when I go home to visit, I always come back a few pounds lighter, which is very interesting to me. So I learned that for me, the weight was padding me. The weight was protection for me, okay? Because I felt insecure whenever I was away from my safe haven. I was away from my home and my family and everything that I knew that was familiar to me. And when I would leave, I would feel the need to pack that weight on, okay? So that's a very interesting revelation. The other thing was that I was eating to comfort myself. So whenever I felt insecure, whenever I felt upset, whenever I felt nervous about something, whenever things weren't working out for me, I would eat. So I was an emotional eater, and I was holding on to the weight subconsciously because I needed protection, okay? So I'm saying all of this to say to you guys that if you find that you are struggling with your weight, if you find that, okay, I'm great when I'm on a diet, I'm great when I'm doing a weight loss program or a weight release program, but when that program ends, when that cleanse ends and I start to eat normally again, that is when I notice that all the weight starts to come back. I encourage you to go deeper, go beyond the diet, go beyond the exercise, allow yourself to face those dark ugly parts of yourself that we don't necessarily want to face sometimes because it's too painful or it's embarrassing. And sometimes it's things that are deeply rooted. Sometimes, mine was rooted from some childhood traumas and things that I was dealing with that I hadn't quite let go of. The feeling of insecurity, abandonment issues, and things like that. And feeling unstable and not really knowing, how to gain your footing in this world, okay? So it was learning that part about myself, learning about why the emotional ties that connected me to gaining the weight in the first place is what truly, truly helped me to release the weight and keep it off. Because not only did I realize the emotional ties that I had to food and to gaining weight and to keeping the weight on me as a shield, but I was also doing the work to release it. And I did the work to release it through hypnosis, working with my hypnotherapist, also doing self-hypnosis for motivation and confidence building and self-love, and doing this weight release program with a good friend of mine. His name is Khan Moshiri. He runs this beautiful program called the Body Temple Transformation, and I'll actually link his YouTube videos below this video so that you guys can check him out as well. He's an amazing coach and really helped me through the toughest part of my life. That, the weight loss for me, the weight release for me was the hardest thing I ever had to do. Because it wasn't the food and it wasn't the working. The working out was hard too, because I struggled with that, but the hardest part was facing those demons. The hardest part was admitting to myself that I had these issues and having to not only face them, but work through them. And I did things like journal. I did a lot of journaling. I did a lot of meditation, a lot of spending time in nature, which is what I still do to this day. I do all three of those things all the time because you need an outlet. You need a way for you to release all of those feelings, all of those emotions, because it can weigh you down, okay? And it can put weight on you. Trust me, believe me. So if there are any traumas in your past, either from childhood or just at any point in your life, and if you can start to work backward and start to trace where you first noticed that there was an issue with your body, that there was an issue with weight, when you can start to trace back to that and work your way forward, that is when you can really start to tap into those parts of yourself that need that healing, because that's all that needs to happen. Is you need to heal around that trauma. You need to heal around that part of you that is saying, I need this weight, I need this food to make me feel comfortable, to make me feel safe. And it is in that healing process that you will find that you are able to let go of the thing that has been weighing you down, that has been heavy on you. And it'll be easy to release it. And not only will it be easy for you to release it, you will find that the weight just falls off, okay? And my weight just fell off. And even now, when I feel like, oh, I might be getting a little bit, getting a little bit chunky, it's just simple, it's just a thought. All I do is think about, oh, I think I might have a couple of little extra pounds here right now. And with that thought, immediately it just comes off within like a couple of days. And then I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not working out every single day. Nope, I'm not killing myself every day working out. I pretty much eat whatever I want, because the foods that I crave, the majority of the time, are foods that are healing foods, that are nurturing and healthy for me, because I programmed that into my subconscious using hypnosis, all right? And I do love hiking. I love, love, love to hike. So I do a lot of hiking. I'm spending a lot of time out in nature, walking around. I love going to the gym, and I used to hate the gym. I could not stand the gym, but I did a lot of work around learning how to love being on the treadmill. I remember the first time my trainer put me on the treadmill, and I tried to run. I couldn't even get through a minute without feeling like I was going to pass out, hyperventilate, and throw up all over the place. And now I can get on the treadmill and I can run for 45 minutes and feel great. I can sprint at like a 9 speed for a minute straight and feel great and not even feel like I'm huffing and puffing and falling down. So I have come a long way. It was not easy. This journey is not easy, guys. I'm not here to sell you any snake oil and say, oh, just use hypnosis and it's going to be very easy like that. No. This is work, okay? And you have to use what we call the law of repetition. You have to consistently repeat this process every single day until it becomes more than just a practice, but now it's a way of life. When people tell you that weight release is a lifestyle change, that is the truth. But it goes deeper than just a lifestyle change. It's also a healing process because you have to dig deep. You got to go deep. Weight gain and weight loss and weight releasing is more than just working out and dieting, okay? It is an emotional issue. It is an emotional issue that you have to deal with. So most people think, oh girl, I just overeat too much. I can't put the cake and ice cream down. You know, I just need to work out more. Well, that's great because you can always eat less cake and ice cream. You can always, you know, leave the fried chicken alone. You can always go to the gym and work out, and you'll do that great for a few months. But at some point, that old behavior, those old patterns are going to come back. Something is going to trigger you and you are going to go right back into that cycle again. Please believe me. Please trust me. Take it from somebody who has done every crash diet, every cleanse, everything you can think of. I've taken diet pills that made me feel like I was, you know, going at 200 miles per hour because it was speed. I've done all kinds of weight release programs, pills, potions, intense extreme diets, you name it, I've done it all, okay? And nothing stuck until I was ready to dig deeper, until I was ready to face those emotional issues, those traumas, and heal those traumas and heal those issues, heal the wounds around insecurity, heal the wounds around abandonment, heal the wounds around why I didn't feel safe whenever I would leave my home, and to be able to find my footing and find my grounding. That is when I stepped into my own power, that is the only time that I was able to fully release the weight so that it would never ever come back again. And now I don't have to kill myself to keep it off because I am confident that my true body is slim, trim, and fit, that the food that I crave is food that heals me and nourishes me. And now I've been able to identify the foods that are toxic to my body so that I can eliminate that out of my diet. And I also know what to do for myself if I ever feel like, oh, maybe I'm getting a little bit of, maybe I got 1 or 2 pounds that needs to come off right now. So it's just a switch of the mind. I notice it and I say, okay, I'm slim, trim, and fit. I know exactly what I need to do. And maybe sometimes for me, it's just I gained a few pounds because it's around the time of my period. And that's normally when I notice that, you know, a few pounds would, you know, up to 10 pounds a woman can gain during her menstruation, during her cycle. And that's normally around the time that I notice that I'm getting a little puffy or swollen. Actually, right now, that's happening because I'm moving into that time of the month for me, okay? So I hope that this video has helped you guys. I don't have any like, you know, eat this and do this at this time of day. I'm not doing all of that in this video, okay? I do that with clients who come to me for weight management. We do a program, a weight release program with hypnosis. If you're interested in doing that, please feel free to contact me. All of my contact information is down below this video. You get a free 20-minute phone consultation with me, so just call me and then we can discuss what your weight management goals are. But this video is simply to let you know that it's deeper and bigger than diet and exercise. It is an emotional issue. It has to do with healing old wounds from past traumas. It also has to do with your relationship with food and your relationship with your body. So if you are eating and you are eating because you're angry or upset and you have a lot of heaviness around you or anger around you while you're eating your food, you have to understand that you're a very powerful, energetic being, and you have the power and the ability to transform energy, such as food, into whatever dominant emotion that you are feeling at that moment. So try to eat when you're happy. Try to eat when you feel light, when you feel free. If you are angry, just give yourself a few moments, take a few deep breaths, try to calm yourself down before you start eating. Don't eat while you're angry. Don't eat while you're upset. Don't eat while you're sad. Try to instead drink some water, take a couple of deep breaths, meditate, pray, go for a walk, do whatever you need to do. Call a friend, vent, get it off of your chest, get it out of your system, and then eat, okay? Just try that for right now. Try that a few times for right now and see if you notice a difference. Even if you just notice how different your body feels after you've completed your meal versus eating happy versus eating when you are upset or angry. So all of these things are tools and techniques that I teach my clients when they come in, and these are tools and techniques that I practice. Even to this day, I practice. If I'm feeling upset, I will put my food aside and I'll say, you know what, I'm gonna eat that later on. I'm gonna go for a walk right now. And by the time I'm done with my walk, I'll feel better, and then I'll come back and eat, okay? If I'm worried about something, I don't eat. If I'm sad, I don't eat. I will do the necessary inner work to help release those emotions and to get back on track before I put that food in my mouth, because I know how powerful my intention is. I know how powerful my mind is. I know how powerful my energy is, and how powerful my manifestation skills are. And guess what? Yours are just as powerful. So we want to be very mindful, very aware of what we're thinking, how we're feeling, what's going on internally before we go and put something in our mouths, all right? I go into great detail with all of this when I'm working with my weight management clients. So again, if you guys are interested in that, you can contact me. We'll do a phone consultation and talk a little bit more about it. But I did want to just share this information with you today because I feel like it's important. We see so many videos out here and so many commercials and advertisements about how to lose weight fast and how to get the weight off and keep the weight off. But a lot of people aren't talking about the real thing. And the real deal is that it's an emotional issue. You can diet and exercise all you want to. You can take all the pills and potions and cleanses and smoothies and shakes you want. But I guarantee you, if you're not digging deep and dealing with this and this, honey, you're going to gain that weight back. Trust me, I did it so many times. So I've placed a link to my website right up here. You can click on that link. When you get to the website, click on the tab to be redirected to my online store. And I invite you guys to check out my Hypnosis Tracks. And those Hypnosis Tracks are produced to music, and the music is done by a magnificent musician named Lee Spusta. So please go ahead, check out those tracks. And the ones that I would recommend for you if you are wanting to work on weight management are the ones for the Audacity. It's called The Audacity of Confidence and What's Your Motivation? So if you guys have any questions or you want to leave me any comments, please feel free to do so down below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video if you enjoyed it. Please do share these videos with your friends and family because I am trying to grow my channel to 1,000 subscribers by January 2018. And I'm a firm believer that if people have this information, then they will begin to retain it, to use it, to put it into practice and make significant changes in their lives. Because the information that I'm sharing here is information that people pay hundreds and thousands of dollars to have access to, and I'm giving it away for free. So please do share this with your loved ones. I thank you guys for your time and attention, and I will see you in the next video. But until then, remember that you and only you are the key to a new you. Peace and blessings.